Tonight we have new developments in the case of two Del Mar College welding instructors facing accusations of inappropriate actions with students. We'll share that information next. Plus, drama in Kingsville after a judge gives the green light to have a recall election. What's being done and what the next steps are. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We begin tonight with new details on the two Del Mar College instructors who have been accused of inappropriately touching students at Falfurrias High School. Jose Uribe, one of the welding instructors, turned himself in this morning to the Brooks County Jail. He was later released on bond. The other instructor, Martin Fonseca, turned himself in yesterday and was also released on bond. Both have been charged with 2 counts of assault causing bodily injury. Chris 6 News asked Uribe to comment on the allegations when he bonded out. He did not talk to our photographer. And we have new updates from the Kingsville regarding the recall election. The city is having a special meeting at the City Hall next Wednesday to discuss and consider appealing judge's decision to allow the recall election to move forward. As we reported previously, the attorney representing the city and the 3 commissioners said the recall petition was not filed in time. He also mentioned he believed the judge made a mistake. According to the attorney, they only have 10 days to appeal the decision. If the appeal is allowed, it means it will go to the Texas 13th District Court of Appeals. The disaster declaration for the city of Beeville has been extended. Last Thursday, the city made its official declaration of a local state of disaster due to low levels in Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon. That declaration was set to expire in 7 days, but has now been extended for another 30 days. The council approved the extension at a special meeting yesterday. However, a vote on amending water restrictions and penalties to reflect Stage 4 was tabled and will be moved to a later date. As we continue to run out of water here in the Coastal Bend, let's take a look at our drought conditions. Stephanie Lauber joins us from the Weather Center. Steph, you have those details.
Yeah, you know, it's not looking great. Thankfully, there haven't been any major changes within our watershed, and we'll take a look at exactly where that is happening. But locally today, we were counting on a few little chispas to help us out, of course, when we're talking about rain that is that light. Significant accumulations, not anticipated, but have the wide view for yourself. Not counting on much, but that's because we don't have a lot of water in the air to work with in general. In fact, you might be jealous tomorrow when our friends up the coast have a better time with some rain chances. But as far as things go here, our drought situation is not good. There's no real way to dress this up. Our deficit for the month alone is eye-catching. We're behind by more than 1.5 inches, halfway through the month, and we're already significantly behind by about half of the rainfall we tend to see in October up to this point. And for the year 2025, we've only had just over 16 inches of rainfall, and our yearly total is around 32 inches. So we still only made it to about the halfway mark, and we're winding down less than 90 days left in 2025. So this is not ideal. We're going to talk about some changes that are coming to this drought monitor with today's update ahead.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. And the state of Texas is now starting to roll out the process to have new safety measures at summer camps. The debate continues over the details of these new rules, and some camps warn they will close, while families who lost children in the deadly flood say money should not be an excuse. Phil Prazin reports.
A packed room in front of leaders of the Department of State Health Services, the agency responsible for enforcing changes after deadly Central Texas floods killed 27 campers and counselors at Camp Mystic. Lawmakers passed Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1 earlier this year. The most drastic move was banning overnight cabins in floodways and floodplains.
If the cost of ensuring a child's safety seems a burden to you, don't operate a camp.
Camp operators from many of the 700 summer camps across the state generally asked agency leaders to delay implementing some aspects of the new laws. One was lowering or delaying increased fees to pay for inspections and oversight.
To say that a large camp is anything over 500 is probably just a misunderstanding of how large some camps are. I'd love for larger camps like mine to be able to shoulder a little bit more of the cost than the smaller camps.
But the most frustrating new rule for many small camps is the requirement to have 2 broadband internet connections in case of an emergency. One required to be a fiber optic network. Many camps in rural areas do not yet have fiber optic cables nearby.
For rural camps, this is financially impossible. It would cost more than we could ever raise, and it would force us to close our doors.
I have a whole lobby behind me full of camps who are here after the bills were passed.
But family members of those who died at Camp Mystic asked agency heads not to water down the new rules.
There was no legitimate emergency plan for floods. And when the water rose, those responsible for more than 700 children failed spectacularly. Their failure cost our daughters their lives.
As of now, the rules will take effect January 1st, and camps will need to comply in order to get a state license.
A new representative is tossing their hat in the ring for governor. Gina Hinojosa announced she will be entering the race.
And because you give me courage, because I have faith in you, because I have faith in my family, my community, in God, and in Texans, I'm running to be the next governor of the state.
Hinojosa will attempt to be the first Democrat to hold the office since 1995. The Brownsville native currently represents Austin. Abbott, who is seeking a record fourth term, has won each of his last three races by double digits, and his campaign is sitting on more than $80 million, underscoring the tall task facing any challenger.
I'm Michaela Chavez, your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter. Next month, Texas voters will weigh in on a plan to put billions into dementia research. I spoke with local experts about dementia, how it affects local families, and why understanding it matters. In Texas, about 11% of people over 65 live with dementia, and that number is even higher in Nueces County at more than 13%, according to the Alzheimer's Association. Dementia isn't just about memory loss. It's a term used to describe a range of symptoms that affect how a person thinks, remembers, and functions day to day.
Impairment with memory, thinking, even the ability to care for oneself, and it can also cause personality changes.
The most common cause is Alzheimer's disease, which makes up about 60 to 80% of dementia cases. And while it affects the individual, it also takes a serious toll on families.
Over time, the patient becomes unable to essentially care for themselves, and it puts a huge financial burden and emotional toll on these patients and their families.
She says long-term research funding is crucial, and that's where Proposition 14 comes in. If approved, it would create a new state fund for dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's, setting aside $3 billion to support it.
When you have something such as sustainable funding that can allow researchers to build those teams and come up with these treatment plans and hopefully prevention strategies.
Prop 14 wouldn't increase taxes, but it would let the state issue grants to support research, including studies happening right here in the Coastal Bend. Genetics and lifestyle play a role, and local research is helping experts understand those factors even more.
Currently, we have research that's focusing on the prevalence of dementia in our Mexican American population compared to our non-Hispanic adult population.
Understanding the facts behind dementia is just the first step. Early voting starts on Monday, October 20th, and lasts 2 weeks. In the Bay Area, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
Michaela, thank you. In national news, President Trump has authorized the CIA to operate in Venezuela. This came after the U.S. announced a fifth strike on a boat they say was carrying drugs off the coast of the island.
We have a lot of drugs coming in from Venezuela, and a lot of the Venezuelan drugs come in through the sea, so you get to see that. But we're going to stop them by land also.
Venezuela's prime minister reacted by saying the comments are warmongering and extravagant, and adds Venezuela's government considers the action a violation of international law. The government shutdown has now reached day 16, meaning we're now 45% of the way to the record 35-day shutdown set back in 2019. The Senate attempted to pass a funding bill earlier today, and it once again failed. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson spoke today on the negotiations.
On this vote, the yeas are 51.
I met with Leader Thune, and he offered to Chuck Schumer a vote on Obamacare subsidies, and Schumer said no. that happened. Asked Leader Thune about it because they wanted a guaranteed outcome.
House Minority Leader Chuck Schumer spoke later at a press conference on health care.
So Hakeem and I just had another really good meeting, and we're on the same page. The American people are in a crisis in healthcare, and we are fighting for them.
We'll keep you updated on the situation as it develops. And a federal judge has stopped the administration's layoffs during the government shutdown. The emergency order halts layoffs while the legal challenge brought by a union representing federal workers plays out. The Trump administration started issuing reduction in force notices on Friday to roughly 4,000 employees in 7 agencies. Well, coming up next on KRIS 6 News at 5, a pedestrian safety campaign on the South Side. We'll hear from a traffic safety specialist when we come back.
You're watching KRIS 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Well, some local food trucks are struggling to stay open, but a new pilot program may start to give them a helping hand. The Community for Food Vendor Incubator will give selected vendors the chance to operate a concession stand inside the Hilliard Center, thanks to a partnership with OVG Hospitality.
I'm a dreamer, and I already started dreaming and making up my mind, being there and stuff. But I'm praying that we get it.
To qualify, vendors must have 2 big requirements: be based in Corpus Christi and not have a brick-and-mortar location. The Hilliard Center hopes to start the program by spring of 2026. Now, walking billboards hit South Side and downtown intersections Thursday to raise awareness for pedestrian safety. According to TxDOT, Corpus Christi saw 8 pedestrian fatalities and 19 serious injuries in 2023. In 2024, the city saw 11 fatalities and 16 serious injuries.
Every time you get into the car and every time you're a pedestrian, it's not just the drivers, everybody, both pedestrians and drivers have to do it together for everybody to be safe.
Pilates says driving intoxicated, speeding, and inattention are leading factors in pedestrian accidents. For drivers, stay alert, stop at crosswalks, follow speed limits, and for pedestrians, use crosswalks, make eye contact with the driver, and stay visible and attentive.
All right, let's take a look at how that ride home is moving tonight. We have some slowdowns, as you can probably see if you look way in the top right of your screen. SPID moving under that overpass of the Crosstown. Yeah, it's a little slow there, but we're still moving. Not too bad. A lot of busy bees out on the roadway. So here's a look at how things are doing along 37. We have some slowdowns approaching SPID and again approaching the Crosstown. So keep that in mind if that's part of your commute. Folks trying to figure out which lane they need to be in. Where the Crosstown and SPID interchange. This is that slowdown we were just showing you on the camera. So it's brief, but something to keep in mind from Greenwood to about Castores. As we take a closer look around town, Staples, usual slowdowns between SPID and Saratoga, Everhart, Weber, and Airline doing okay. So as you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. Your forecast is next. All right, we're going to talk about not 1, but 2 cold fronts as soon as this computer unfreezes. So here we go. We are going to see a temperature roller coaster here. Generally, the warmer stuff coming first. So much warmer than what we've seen this afternoon. A lot of orange on this map showing temperatures that are hanging out near 90 degrees. In some cases, we definitely made it to those lower 90s today. Falfurrias hanging out at 91, Hebbronville at 90, San Diego at 90. And we generally dial that back as you get closer to the coast. But most of us are at least feeling like the middle to upper 80s when we take a look at that. Feels like temperature there. Heading into tonight. Again, these temperatures will take a more significant drop. We will wake up near 70 degrees across much of the coastal bend. And it's that variation that we get to see because we have relatively dry air. The flip side, you need water to have rainfall in the forecast. So the little chispas we were hoping on today, they definitely happened across some parts. They just didn't make it to the ground because we have so much dry air around the area. Now, along the coast, where we're right on the water, we're still looking at muggy conditions, but we're not in the 70s in the middle of the afternoon, which tells you all these 50s for our inland neighborhoods, we still have pretty dry air in place. Not good if we want to get some rain into the mix. There have been a few opportunities for rainfall, and they're starting to come together. However, I think we're going to miss out on that. I think that's going to be pretty much where you see this cloud coverage coming in between the Victoria Crossroads and the southern part of the Houston metropolitan area. So we are likely to miss out. Not a great feeling when you see rain so close, but so far. Now, we're waiting on one of two cold fronts to arrive. This is the first one, and way back here, that's the second one moving into the Pacific Northwest. The first one isn't going to do a whole lot to change the weather pattern that we've been seeing. We need some things to come together. It's still early in the season to get a real cool down. In fact, if you look at what's happening upstream of us in the Pacific Northwest, those temperatures aren't very cold. Yeah, for Texas standards, being in the 40s and 50s, yeah, that's more than fall. That's almost like winter for us, but this is not cold for them. And this air would warm up on the way to us, something we call modifying. So we need them to have more of a cool down before we can get more of a cool down from these cold fronts. So we got to wait our turn, but there are going to be some changes we'll notice heading into the weekend. But we have to talk about it in terms of humidity because that's going to be the only way that we really notice this. So not a lot of moisture around. Here's tomorrow's plume of moisture that's basically going to scoot right by us. Maybe our extreme northern neighborhoods might have an opportunity to see more cloud coverage, perhaps a quick passing shower, but for most of us, not going to be very likely. Here's that first front getting close to Corpus Christi as we head into Sunday. That is going to make things pretty dry, especially for our inland neighborhoods. So usually when that happens, we have the opposite of a cold front effect. We start to warm up, which is not ideal, but that's what happens because of the elevation of Texas. We compress all that somewhat drier, cooler air, and we get a warm up instead of the cool down. Now that's not good because, like I mentioned, we're in a drought. We're behind on our rainfall in a significant way, and we really need to make up for this, especially since we are going into our dry season here, heading into November and December. So taking a look at that 7-day forecast here, we're going to see temperatures take a quick uptick over the weekend and then hope for a cooler situation, maybe even some rain late next week.
If you want to see more news in your neighborhood, well, check out Chris 6 Plus, streaming on our YouTube channel, bringing stories straight from your neighborhood 24/7. Some boating captains are taking their time to teach the next generation about what's needed to operate a boat. We'll share those details next.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Well, some boating captains are doing their part to teach the next generation how to safely operate boats. Chris 6 photojournalist Joe Escobedo spoke with one of these captains earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, our passion is to make sure kids are enjoying the water safely, right? We see a lot of people on the water and doing crazy things, and clearly either they don't understand the regulations or they don't want to. But we want to make sure at least kids who go on the water are safe. Making sure they know safely how to get their boat launched, especially if they're by themselves. It takes a little experience to check the wind, make sure you're not blowing away from the dock. And part of what we do, like I said, is hands-on. So we have all the different life vests. We want to make sure kids have experience on the boat. So in addition to covering the regulations and everything required by Texas Park and Wildlife, we want to get them on the boat, make sure they understand the safety on the boat, take them out, have them actually navigate with the boat, read the GPS, understand what to do when somebody's passing them on the water, and have that experience on the boat and not just sit and look at slides or do it online. So we have some spots we've identified that we're going to...
Everyone's favorite hazelnut spread is soon launching a frozen treat. We'll tell you the details when we come back.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Nutella ice cream, well, this sweet treat will be hitting those shelves very soon, and I'm excited for it. Nutella will be releasing their ice cream this December. It promises to deliver the unmistakable taste of Nutella with swirls of Nutella in every bite, according to a press release. Parent company Wells Enterprises also announced a new Kinder Bueno frozen treat coming to the U.S. stores, and they will begin shipping both of those products out starting December 1st, and plan to do a broader distribution in the spring of next year. People really love Nutella.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say,
favorite.
Are you one of those people that can enjoy ice cream even when it's cold outside?
Yes,
I am.
Yes, I can.
So
I do iced coffee even if it's cold out there.
That's true.
So
I think that counts. By December, though, it seems like this summer will never end. We've got some hot temps out there. So let me show you what the long-term outlook is. Misery Loves Company is a different form today, and that next week, from the 22nd through the 26th, a lot of us across 2/3 of the U.S. are likely looking at least warmer than usual temperatures across the board. For us, that means 90s are still on the board between now and then. We're looking at the hottest temp, 94, coming in on Saturday. No sign of fall weather yet.
Ooh, okay, everybody, make sure you stay hydrated. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you here in 30 minutes. Bye-bye.